The Boys. The Boys is the show on Amazon Prime at the moment, and I'm really into it because when I first started watching this, I saw posters of it all over Amazon Prime, and I thought it's another superhero show, something that I wasn't exactly looking forward to. Because I mean, if you list them off, you've got Arrow, Legion, Agents of Shield. Uh, there's just too many. There's too many superhero shows, and I mean, we've just come off SDCC, whatever it is, and they announced Marvel Phase 5. Now, Marvel Phase 5 has Eternals. See, I can't even remember it. I'm that uninterested. Black Widow. Doctor Strange, yeah, I'm into seeing that. But, I mean, the only one I really care too much about now is Spider-Man, because I like the way they do that story. But I'm just kind of done with the MCU's multiverse, and then obviously you've got the DC side of it where I don't know what's going on. I keep mentioning this in other videos I've done where I'm just not sure what's going on with that at all. But here we go, The Boys. It is a series on Amazon Prime, like I said, and it is just a palate cleanser from the rest of the superhero genre stuff we've seen. It reminds me, it's sort of like Watchmen. At the same time, nothing like Watchmen. Garth Ennis's comic book, disclaimer, I know nothing about the comic, I've only seen the series, have no idea about the written material, so don't slag me off for that. But the actual show itself, it gives the view of a superhero as kind of a commercialized, say they're Instagram famous. These superheroes are Insta famous, and that's their whole deal now. Like, and behind those images of photoshopped greatness, we see their kind of seedy underbelly of superhero nature, and our main characters you go through kind of sees this after a life-changing event. I won't spoil it, I've only watched the first 5 episodes, for a quick impression. But he goes through an event which kind of gives him a different view on superheroes. Like I said, it's like Watchmen, where it's kind of a darker, grittier take on superheroes, but at the same time it's kind of got that MCU witticism charm, dialed up to about a 3, and then add an injection of the dark and gloomy with a bit of realism as well. But it's so satirical and commercialized view of superheroes. It's just refreshing. We haven't seen this. We've seen the Avengers in Avengers Tower getting their avenging on, and then you've seen the DCU misery of the Justice League, where everyone's just depressed and pretending like they're having a good time, and that's just the actors, don't know about the actual characters. But the thing I love about this is it's like they've taken there are core elements of like these characters who are essentially the Justice League, turned them on his head. There's a whole joke about obviously Aquaman and he's talking to Fish, with the character The Deep, and kind of his story goes places which is interesting. You've got obviously the main big Captain America Superman character, and everyone says, oh, he's so pure and good, but then obviously he's kind of the biggest asshole of them all when you start to get into it. Again, no spoilers, it's kind of given in the fact that the poster of it has him eye lasering people. Homelander he's yeah, something else. And there's some stuff going on behind the scenes that's then you've got there's just, they are essentially the Justice League. Queen Maeve is Wonder Woman, but there's some elements there again. It's just great for anyone who's kind of tired of the superhero genre, as I can't imagine a lot of people aren't by this point. We're about 24, 25 films, maybe like 23 into the MCU. The DC has got another probably 3 lined up with 1980s Wonder Woman, and then I think there's a Batman with Robert Pattinson. My thoughts on that aside, I mean, let's just see what happens. But it's fun, the fact that you've got shows like Titans, and I think that's another show which kind of goes the dark, gritty way which DC have always been trying, and I'm not sure that's 100% worked in their favour. I mean, it's alright, but it's kind of bland. None of the, even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I would say, it doesn't really say much. None of it says much. It's just kind of on. It's that kind of stuff where you can look at your phone while it happens, and then something interesting will appear on the screen. Oh wow, that's amazing. Is it a cameo of a character you know? Probably not, because it's not really involved in the MCU. But the only show that I think really kind of gripped me all the way through superhero wise was probably Daredevil. Daredevil 1, 2 and 3 I think are really good on Netflix. Luke Cage I lost interest in. I watched the first season. Iron Fist the same. Jessica Jones was good. The second season kind of dragged a bit, and the third season haven't watched. But I honestly think the cure for that, I mean, The Boys is just, it's great with what it does. You've got Carl Urban, who, a perfect Dredd, even without the helmet now, is showing he's a perfect actor, like, who doesn't love bones, but he is essentially just a ball of grimy, like, noir detective meets an asshole, meets an FBI agent who's drunk. That would be him rolled into a ball, and then you've got the main character of Huey, who's really the character that the audience is meant to kind of focus themselves into, kind of their opening into this world of superheroes, and his eyes opening to the real kind of idea of what a superhero is. It's just amazing. It's nothing we've seen in TV or film before, I'd say, really. Watchmen again is probably the closest, but again, I because it's got kind of the realistic nature of what it would be like to be a superhero in the real world. But with Watchmen, I still think it was all style over substance. Again, I'm talking about the film. The book I've only like glanced at, but I've heard that's a brilliant read. I just don't think that translated well to the screen. I think they changed the ending. I'm not sure what the ending originally was, but again, it felt stylized, whereas there's a lot of style to it, but it's styled in a very kind of different way that goes just in all different directions, and I really enjoy that, and I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy this because it is just different. It isn't Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it isn't Titans, it isn't Gotham. God, Gotham. That's another one which is just a prequel to kind of, it's Batman, it's the early days of Batman. I mean, we're selling it because it's Batman. This is a series where you don't need to know any of the characters. I mean, if you've read the comic book, I'm guessing it would kind of mean a bit more, probably. But these characters, you don't need to know. They show you, they go through it all, and it's just, it's so nice to not have this looming overshadow of, oh, what comes next? What's going to be the next big film? What's going to be the next big what's going to be the next big setup after Infinity War's done? Oh, what's going to carry on forward? Like, I don't care about this when I watch an episode. I just want to see what these characters are doing, how the situation progresses. There is a storyline, there is a story arc, it is important to the show, but I'm not overwhelmed by that in the background. I like it, it's there, but I'm more interested to see what these characters are doing, how they react to the situations they're in, and kind of how it goes forward as the series progresses. It's only 8 episodes, I believe. I'm about on episode 5. I'm still loving it to this moment. I can't wait to go back and watch the rest of them. I think it'll hook a lot of people, and I think, again, it's almost like I've watched the first season of Preacher, which is also a Garth Ennis thing. It's out there, it's quirky, it's obviously not for kids, it's very dark, there's a lot of adult content, but again, it is superheroes in a very different light, and a light which we haven't seen and which isn't being milked everywhere in cinemas, on the TV screens, and your eyeballs from the comic books. It's just different, and I applaud that for difference, and I like the kind of aspect that it shows of the superhero kind of culture and what it would be if superheroes were real, not glamorized heroic symbols of peace and justice who are very two-dimensional and don't really have a lot going on in the background. They're very public facing, and that is it. There is literally nothing behind that screen. And this, oh, we see behind the screen, there's a screen, and there should be a screen for some of these characters. Homelander is an asshole, Translucence is a creep, and all the others, especially the Deep and what he is implied to do with a dolphin at some point. It is worth a watch, 100%. Even if you're done with all the comic books, even if you're not into the superhero genre, I guarantee the kind of satirical nature of the humor, and it's very dark, a very dark sense of humor. But I think this has a lot to offer, and a lot to offer to everyone. I don't think there's a specific audience it truly caters to. I think it has got a wide demographic, to be honest, and I think you should check it out, and I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy this, and hopefully there's more to come. Hopefully there's a season 2. Fingers crossed.